The question is, it continues to not be a certainty all the time. Doubts appear. I guess that's a contrast in a way, as the answers come in.
Well, in time you will come to trust more. Here's what we've noticed with those of you who are just beginning to first even desire it to begin with, and then to begin to allow it. Here's what we've noticed. If you have a question that is really important to you, that you've been working on quite a long time, then there is a very high probability that while the question is pulsing within you, there may be some contrasting doubt that is pulsing within you also. And when you are receiving from source energy, the resistance that's within you has to subside. In other words, you have to get up to speed with the energy. And the thing that's a little tricky about that is that if you're in a situation that is causing you to not feel good, and we're exaggerating that just for sake of explanation here, if you are in a situation where you're worried about something or really not understanding something that you want to understand, you are not vibrationally up to speed with the answer that you hope to receive. That's the reason that the process of meditation is so helpful in opening this passageway, because when you meditate, you quiet your mind. When you quiet your mind, you stop thought. When you stop thought, you stop resistant thought. And when you've stopped resistant thought, then your vibration raises and you can begin to hear. So the most effective way, if you are one person who is wanting to ask the question and receive the answer, you have to remember that step one of the process is to ask. Step two is the answer comes. Source is doing step two. Step three is you must be in the place of vibrationally allowing the answer. Well, when you have a question and you're doing step one, and you are aware that you don't know the answer, now you're not a vibrational match to allowing the answer to come in. So for Esther, it was very nice because Jerry was the one with all of the questions. Esther was just bipping along, living happily ever after. She really did not have an unfulfilled question in her being. And Jerry was brimming with unfulfilled questions. That was the magic that brought Abraham to the two of them. Jerry could not get enough of his questions asked, and Esther was in a place where she could relax and just allow the answers to flow through. So, if you have someone else that you can get to do the asking while you relax and allow the answering, that's very helpful. Or understand that they are two very different segments. Spend a day or two or three or four or five, even a week. Spend as much time as you want formulating the question. Let your universal experiences help you to clarify your question. Write it down and be clear about your question, and say every day as you're writing the question down, I'm expecting an answer to this and I will listen for an answer for this. And then one day, once you're certain that you've got your question in a very clear place, then sit and bring yourself into a quieted place of receiving. Quiet your mind, feel your vibration raise, and then just relax and allow those answers to drift through you. And in time, you will be able to receive clearly, and you will not have any question about the authenticity of what you're receiving. It's important for you to do it and relax in doing it, and then do it more and relax in doing it. The more you do it, the more confident you will be. Esther received us clearly in the first moment that she began receiving. But she did not know it, because when you are the receiver, you've got to be up to speed with the vibration before you can receive it. And when you're up to speed with the vibration, you are the vibration. And so Esther would say to Jerry, that did not sound any more important than what we are going to have for lunch, or what we already had for lunch. And Jerry would say to her, it was much more than that, believe me. In other words, from his perspective, he could feel the clarity of it. So you are not a good judge of your own ability to receive, you see, because you've got to be up to speed with it in order to receive it. And when you're up to speed with it, you already are it, and then you say, I'm not sure if this is me or if this is what I'm receiving, you see. There's only one thing that we want to guide you about, and that is, as long as you are feeling good in the receiving of it, and by good we mean elated or joyful or interested or enthusiastic or passion, as long as the vibration that you are feeling as you are receiving feels good to you, then know that you are up to speed and that the source of what you're receiving is something beneficial. If you are receiving warnings, if you're ornery, if it comes from this place of fear, then you are not picking up from source energy, because source energy is not delivering that kind of information. You're picking up on the accumulation of the spin-off of man's conscious thought. So really, we're saying the same thing to you that we've been saying already here today, and that is, get yourself in a place of non-resistance. Get yourself feeling as good as you can on the emotional scale, and then trust what comes and do it as often as you have time for. And you will develop a relationship that is so meaningful that you will never again question that you are an extension of source energy, and that source energy is right there assisting you, not telling you what to do, supporting you, not because you need it, assisting you in living a fuller, broader, more amazing experience. Yes.
It's interesting how easy it is to forget that emotional guidance system.
Well, we talked about
it's
that.
With practice that I understand, but I had never actually applied it to my meditation. How good do I feel when the answer comes through? I hadn't thought about that. I was just looking at answers, and sometimes they resonate and sometimes they don't. But I never really thought, well, does that feel good? And
Well, a lot of people, when they're asking a question because they're in a dilemma, so they've got the dilemma vibration going on. And when they've got that dilemma vibration going on, they can't hear. In other words, even as a physical friend talking to another physical friend, if you're up here all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and your friend is in despair or anger, not feeling good, they can't hear you. You're just annoying to them. Have you ever had someone all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed say to you, you create your own reality, you need to cheer up, and you want to say, that could not be true or you'd be gone. Yeah. I'm certain that I don't create my own reality.
I do that with myself.
And so, tending to vibration is everything. Anything that is important to you, you've got to find a way of talking about it and thinking about it that feels good to you. That's what the work is. It's talking yourself into vibrational alignment with your own desire. And most people don't do that very effectively because they're too interested in what everybody else thinks. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? It drives you crazy because they all have different vantage points and they want different things from you to serve their selfish interests often, you see. And so you have to be very clear about what you want and vigilant about paying attention to the way you feel if ever you are going to know whether you are moving toward or away from your own desires.
So the first thing is really always to formulate the question in a way that feels
Step one.
good.
Step one, make sure that you have the question formulated. But then here's what we're giving to you that is new for you here. Let there be some separation between step one and step two. And the best separation that we know of between asking a question that you are frustrated with not knowing the answer to and being in a place where you can receive the answer is meditation, which quiets your mind, you see. Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.